My beloved, do not close this. This is a message from heaven. What you are reading right now is not an accident. When some words appear at the exact moment your heart feels heavy, it means the heavens are stepping closer. If this touches even one corner of your soul, stay with it. Something in your life is shifting, aligning, unfolding. You may not see it yet, but your spirit already felt the tremor. That trembling is not fear, it is awakening, it is the echo of a truth you tried to outrun. Heaven is calling your name, softly but unmistakably. There comes a moment, when the soul reaches a doorway it cannot ignore. A moment when the noise of life begins to fade, and the voice of God becomes clearer. This message is that moment for you. You have been walking through seasons where you carried more than you should, stayed silent when your heart wanted to scream, and kept going even when you were exhausted. God saw it, Archangel Michael saw it, the heavens watched you stand tall in storms that were meant to break you. And now they are saying, enough. Step into the chapter we wrote for you long ago. Archangel Michael says, you have mistaken survival for strength. But now you are being invited into healing. There is a difference. You learn to function with wounds, to smile with heaviness, to move with uncertainty, to hope while fearing disappointment. Yet despite all your doubts, your spirit has remained unbroken. Heaven honors that resilience. Michael steps closer to tell you that what is coming next is not built on fear or pressure. It is built on alignment, it is built on truth, it is built on the version of you that finally understands your worth. Listen carefully now. God is bringing people, opportunities, and clarity toward you. Not to test you, but to restore you. Some connections in your life will feel strangely familiar, as if your soul recognizes them before your mind does. Some moments will feel designed only for you. That is because heaven is orchestrating encounters that elevate your spirit, strengthen your path, and remind you that you were never meant to walk alone. Divine alignment does not feel rushed, it feels like recognition, calm, steady, undeniable. Michael says, do not measure your future through the lens of past pain. What hurt you before was not sent to define you, it was sent to refine you. You learn discernment, patience, emotional intelligence, and the courage to choose yourself. These qualities were carved into your spirit through fire, but now they will serve you through blessings. The season ahead is not a punishment, it is a correction, a redirection, a reclamation of everything you lost in moments you didn't deserve. You may feel the need to protect yourself, to hide your truth, to stay small so you won't be judged. But heaven is removing the fear that made you shrink. God says, your life is not meant to be shaped by the opinions of those who do not carry your destiny. You are stepping into a chapter where approval is irrelevant, clarity is louder than confusion, and purpose becomes your compass. Let people misunderstand you, let them question your path. Heaven is not consulting them about your destiny. There are doors opening for you that no human hand could unlock. Situations that felt stuck will begin to move, prayers you forgot you prayed will start returning as answered signs. Opportunities that once slipped away will reappear transformed. God says, I have not denied you. I have been preparing you. Sometimes delays are not rejections, they are protection. Heaven will never give you something before your spirit is ready to hold it. Archangel Michael wants you to release the guilt you carry for outgrowing people, habits, and versions of yourself that were never meant to join you in the next chapter. Growth is not betrayal, boundaries are not harsh, healing is not selfish. What you are becoming requires space, honesty, and elevation. The old chapter required your patience, the new chapter requires your courage. Let the old fall away, do not cling to what God is removing. When heaven closes a door, it is not loss, it is redirection. You have also felt a mysterious pull toward transformation, like something greater is calling you. That pull is real, your spirit is being recalibrated. You may notice repeated signs, certain numbers, repeating thoughts, sudden clarity, unexpected peace at unusual moments. These are not coincidences, these are spiritual signals, confirmations that you are stepping into alignment. Michael says, pay attention. Heaven speaks through patterns long before it speaks through miracles. Do not fear the unknown ahead, Michael stands beside you with a sword of clarity, protection, and truth. No plan formed against you will succeed if you move with integrity. God is not sending you into confusion, He is guiding you into purpose. The path may feel unfamiliar, but it is blessed. This season of your life will reveal why certain people left, why certain doors closed, why certain prayers were delayed, and why your heart had to break before it could expand. You are entering a chapter where peace will feel natural, where love will feel safe, where blessings will feel deserved, and where your spirit will feel at home. Heaven is not asking you to rush, it is asking you to trust. Trust the timing, trust the detours, trust the quiet moments that reshape your thoughts. Trust the gentle pull that tells you something beautiful is unfolding backstage. Michael whispers one final truth: when God writes your story, no force on earth can rewrite it. What is meant for you is not fragile, what is aligned with you will not disappear, what is divine will not harm you. Step forward with the courage your soul has been preparing for. Heaven is not watching from a distance anymore, heaven is walking with you. Discernment matters more than desire. When your heart moves, you must pause and ask. Does this connection make me wiser, kinder, stronger in spirit? If the answer leans toward growth, then nurture it gently. If it drains your peace, protect your heart without apology. Forgiveness will be part of your journey, but forgiveness is not permission for harm. Forgiveness is the choice to walk free of bitterness. Archangel Michael says, forgive quickly when sincerity is present, but stand firm when your spirit feels wounded. Heaven honors strength wrapped in compassion. But strength without wisdom becomes recklessness. This is why God calls you to transparency. Be clear about what you want, and honest about what you fear. Speak openly about intentions, expectations, boundaries. When motives are in the light, the heart can breathe. When truth is hidden, confusion grows roots. Seek wise counsel from people who genuinely love you, and pray for you. Not those who control, judge, or gossip. But those who carry calm discernment. Heaven honors practical wisdom just as much as spiritual passion. You may wonder, will this connection last? Only heaven knows the full blueprint, but God reveals the early signs if you pay attention. If the bond is patient, humble, respectful, and leads you toward emotional and spiritual maturity, it carries heaven's fingerprints. If it builds you instead of breaking you, honor it. If someone has shown you loyalty, sacrifice, or vulnerability, treat that devotion with gratitude. Do not play with a heart that chose you courageously. Michael says handle devotion like a sacred gift, with honesty, gentleness, and responsibility. But if you are the one offering love, slow down and breathe. Love is not proven by pressure, it is proven by patience. Do not force, manipulate, or rush anyone into closeness. Walk with integrity, so that heaven can bless your steps. True affection seeks clarity, not secrecy, alignment, not control. God sees every silent prayer, every quiet hope for mutual understanding, every fear of misinterpretation. And He answers, be brave, be honest, be kind. Growth takes time, but wholeness will meet you on the other side of patience. Never underestimate the power of shared prayer. When two hearts lift their hopes to God, even imperfectly, something shifts. Walls soften, confusion clears, peace begins to settle. A shared altar does not need to be dramatic, it simply needs sincerity. Pray for humility, clarity, protection, and direction. Ask Michael to guard your path, and keep your intentions clean. Heaven listens to hearts that approach with truth, rather than performance. And sometimes, even when love is real, the timing is not. God may ask you to slow down, grow deeper in character, or heal pieces of your past before stepping fully into something new. Waiting is not rejection, waiting is refinement. If something is meant for your future, it will not crumble under time. If it withers in waiting, it wasn't meant to hold your destiny. Heaven never rushes what is meant to be eternal. Your worth does not hinge on approval. People may misunderstand you, question your choices, or misread your intentions. That's human, but heaven sees the truth beneath your actions. God says align your decisions with my whisper, not the world's noise. When you choose integrity, peace follows, even if the crowd disagrees. Tests will come, not to punish you, but to reveal authenticity. Every spiritual path goes through fire, so the gold can be seen. And when fear rises, fear of losing family, respect, certainty. God steps in, He says you will not lose what belongs to my plan. Sometimes loss is pruning, sometimes pruning is preparation. Trust the pruning, trust the future orchard. If responsibilities press hard, family legacy, or practical realities. Use wisdom. Love without wisdom breaks households. Love with wisdom heals them. Let your choices reflect maturity, compassion, and long-term vision. A love aligned with God becomes a ministry. It brings healing, peace, and emotional restoration. It teaches patience where anger lived, it plants courage where fear once ruled. Some of the greatest testimonies begin in places that seem unusual, until people see the fruit. You are not walking this path alone, angels walk beside you, shaping your courage, guarding your steps, and lighting up signs when darkness tries to mislead. If your heart says yes, step forward with grounded courage. If your heart says no, honor that truth with gentle closure. Either path taken with honesty and prayer leads to peace. Heaven promises when your choices align with integrity, blessings unfold. Chains break, old fears loosen, peace returns. Miracles arrive quietly, but unmistakably, shifting your life in ways you did not see coming. So lean closer now, because this part matters. The next steps of your heart journey require intention. First, anchor every decision in prayer. Prayer is alignment, not ritual. When you ask God for clarity sincerely, confusion loses its power. Second, surround yourself with wise voices. Not many, just a handful of grounded souls who see your worth and understand your path. They become mirrors of wisdom, not chains of control. Third, let honesty become your foundation. When intentions are clear, relationships grow strong. When secrets hide in the cracks, trust weakens. Authenticity is your safest armor. Fourth, honor boundaries. Every healthy bond needs structure, emotional, spiritual, and practical. Boundaries are not walls, they are agreements that protect peace. Fifth, uphold integrity. Your reputation is shaped by consistency over time. Walk in light, not secrecy. God honors transparency. Sixth, do not rush the deeper steps of intimacy. Emotional closeness is sacred, and meant to be approached with maturity. Move slowly enough that your spirit can keep pace with your heart. When you honor timing, heaven honors you. Archangel Michael stands guard over your choices. He whispers, if this is for you, nothing can take it. If it is not, I will reveal it. Either way, your destiny remains protected. And as you read this, your spirit already knows something is unfolding. That pull, that warmth, that quiet sense of possibility. That was heaven aligning your heart with clarity, not chaos. Now rise with courage, rise with discernment, rise with prayer. You are walking into a chapter where God rewrites the ordinary into the miraculous. Rushing is where hearts lose direction. Passion can feel like certainty, but time reveals the truth. Let patience test what intensity hides. Real love doesn't sprint, it deepens through seasons. Conversations, challenges, and small choices made with clarity. Growth is the real proof of love. Ask yourself, does this connection make me kind, brave, honest, steady? If a bond makes you shrink or silence your joy, it is not heaven sent. God blesses what shapes character, not what demands you disappear to keep peace. Honor your family with steady strength. Some people fear what they don't understand. Speak calmly, keep your word, show consistency. Time and character soften even the hardest hearts. Let your life demonstrate what explanations never could. Never mistake shame for guidance. Shame is the enemy whispering with a religious mask. Reject its voice, truth and grace are clearer counselors. God leads with conviction, not humiliation. Spiritual rhythm strengthens unity. Pray together intentionally, set times, shared requests, quiet moments of gratitude. Prayer becomes a rhythm that keeps two hearts aligned, even when emotions fluctuate. Love thrives when it is honored publicly, at the right time. Healthy love isn't hidden forever, it simply waits for wisdom. When the foundation is ready, share your story with dignity, so it becomes encouragement, not confusion. Tests will shape the strength of your bond. Trials are not punishment, they are verification. When trust survives misunderstandings, delays, or pressure, it becomes rooted, not fragile. Let challenges refine, not unravel you. Financial clarity guards peace. Plan transparently, sign agreements, be fair. God blesses stewardship. Money should never become a battlefield, when wisdom can turn it into teamwork. Solitude is sacred, even in togetherness. Maintain your inner life, keep your personal connection with God alive. A soul anchored in God cannot be shaken by circumstances. Humility will save you during conflict. Don't fight to win, fight to understand. Michael teaches strength wrapped in gentleness, where truth restores instead of wounds. Celebrate small victories, every answered prayer, every healed moment, every calm conversation is a miracle. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into testimony. Heaven speaks through signs, not shortcuts, repeated numbers, unexpected peace, chance encounters. These are confirmations, not guarantees. Discern them with prayer, not with wishful thinking. Grace keeps the path open, people make mistakes. But forgiveness, when paired with accountability, becomes the bridge back to unity. Bitterness is the fastest way to spiritual erosion. Choose sacred spaces that nourish you. If the world feels loud, create environments that feel holy. Quiet dinners, community service, prayer nights, intentional bonding. Connection grows where peace lives. Humility must stay your clothing, pride destroys what gentleness protects. Ask each other often, are we still humble before God, before each other? Heaven leans toward the lowly, not the loud. Call on Archangel Michael boldly, say, Michael, guard our borders, stand between us and every deception. Spiritual protection is not symbolic, it is real, powerful, and heaven approved. Write your commitments clearly, not for pressure, but for clarity. A written covenant reveals intention, anchors decisions, and protects hearts from confusion. Speak life over one another, praise in public, protect in private. Reputation is shaped by what people hear from those closest to you. Track the fruit over time, after 3 months, 6 months, a year, pause and ask. Has this connection produced peace, responsibility, patience, and spiritual maturity? Fruit reveals the roots. Practice nightly gratitude. One thing you thank God for about each other every night rewires the heart toward trust and tenderness instead of suspicion. Face practical realities with courage, future health, logistics, responsibilities, talk about everything. Love that pretends difficulties don't exist becomes fragile. Love that plans becomes resilient. Watch for pride in disguise. Sometimes we chase difficult situations because they make us feel bold. Ask honestly, am I seeking God's will, or my own desire to feel extraordinary? Become a testimony, not a spectacle. If your bond brings healing, let your story inspire others gently. Miracles are meant to uplift, not divide. Expect divine timing that feels unreal, when two souls align with truth, doors open at precise moments. Opportunities appear, resources align, and burdens lift in ways that feel orchestrated. Never twist faith into a weapon. Scripture is for healing, not for winning arguments. Faith should create safety, not fear. Watch for manipulation always. True love invites freedom. Control is insecurity in costume. If any demand feels like pressure, slow your steps and pray for clarity. Honor spiritual elders who bless your path. When wise godly voices offer genuine blessing, receive it. Heaven often speaks through people who've walked longer roads. Prepare to be misunderstood without losing peace. Not everyone sees the journey heaven wrote for you. Your job is not to convince, your job is to live with integrity, until truth becomes undeniable. Guard your story. Social media, gossip, curiosity, none deserve access to your deepest spaces. Privacy can be an act of holiness. Serve together to strengthen purpose. Connection grows stronger when two hearts bless others. Serving shifts focus from problems to purpose. Maintain independence where possible. Financial and emotional independence protect dignity. Togetherness must never imprison the soul. The truest test remains the same. Does this love point you toward God? If yes, walk forward. If not, step back. No sign is clearer. Build rituals that bind the heart. Sunday meals, nightly prayers, yearly retreats. Small rhythms become the architecture of lifelong unity. Restoration is not a one-time event. Healthy love repairs often. Humility and responsibility make restoration natural, not exhausting. Expect your story to heal others. When two hearts choose truth, heaven uses the testimony to lift broken people everywhere. Stay connected to community. Isolation is where deception grows. Healthy love grows stronger when surrounded by grounded souls. Pray quickly when choices appear. God responds with surprising precision when asked sincerely. Keep learning side by side. Books, sermons, reflection, shared spiritual growth deepens connection. Hold one another accountable with compassion. Real love corrects without shaming. Responsibility is as important as affection. And finally, celebrate the courage it took to love at all. Heaven honors bravery wrapped in humility. Your story is still unfolding, and heaven is still writing. Courage deserves to be honored. When two hearts choose truth over fear, heaven recognizes that bravery. Celebrate the strength it took to stand firm, even when uncertainty tried to shake you. Gratitude keeps courage alive, and courage keeps your path aligned with God. But courage without discernment becomes danger. Romantic words mean nothing if actions don't match. Test consistency, test accountability, test the ability to show up when things get hard. Real love is proven by presence, not poetry. Heaven blesses what is steady, not what is dramatic. Seek spiritual confirmation wisely. A trusted grounded voice can offer clarity. But never let prophecy replace your own relationship with God. Prophetic insight should support your spirit, not override it. God still expects you to listen for His whisper personally. Public opinion is not the final judge. When God is in something, He has the power to shift the atmosphere around you. Hearts change, perspectives soften, truth has a way of rising through confusion. Let God rewrite the narrative in His timing. Waiting seasons are sacred classrooms. If God asks you to wait, treat the pause as preparation. Waiting builds patience, strength, and emotional clarity. It removes illusions, and reveals what is truly rooted. What survives waiting is always stronger than what rushes ahead. When you step forward, step with reverence. Commit with intention, prayer, and community. Let your actions reflect the weight of what you're choosing. Heaven honors relationships that are built openly, and blessed by wisdom. These principles are not chains, they are protection. Heaven loves bold love, but also wise love. Archangel Michael whispers, "What is meant for you will be guarded, what is not will be revealed." Walk with courage, but walk with clarity. God stands with you privately and publicly. He blesses what honors Him, and refines what needs growth. Stay humble in success, teachable in correction, and faithful in the quiet moments. Your life becomes the testimony that words could never deliver. Now lean in, this part shapes your journey. Speak this prayer when you rise and when you sleep. Lord, align my heart with truth, protect what you planted, reveal what must be released. Let the word steady your spirit, heaven responds to sincerity. Call on Michael, when fear rises, say, Michael, guard my heart, expose deception, lead me with wisdom. His presence becomes a shield that strengthens your insight and calms your emotions. Pay attention to small confirmations, an unexpected message, a perfectly timed sign, a sudden sense of peace. These are heaven's fingerprints. Record them. Patterns reveal direction far more clearly than fleeting emotions. Invite mature elders into your story, let them pray with you weekly for a season. Not to control you, but to bring spiritual grounding. When wise voices pray in unity, clarity increases, and confusion fades. Speak gently to family, begin with love, not defense. Say, I want you to hear my heart. Humility disarms resistance, respect builds bridges. And when judgment rises, answer softly, I hear you, please pray for me. This diffuses conflict, and invites grace. Protect truth with clarity. If accusations arise, keep records and facts. Steward honesty. God honors those who handle truth with integrity. Call manipulation by its name, say we will make decisions through honesty, prayer, and wisdom. Boundaries are sacred, they protect what heaven is building. Create weekly rhythms, check in emotionally, spiritually, and practically. Ask, how did we honor God this week, what needs work? Small consistency prevents large fractures. Keep dignity in all practical matters, financial clarity, responsibilities, long-term planning. All these build trust. Romance grows stronger when stability stands beside it. Stay humble when praise arrives. When people begin to notice growth or blessings, pray for humility. Pride weakens what God strengthens. Keep your spirit grounded. Avoid unnecessary secrecy. Hidden things attract confusion. Wise transparency creates protection, not vulnerability. Test every spiritual message. True direction brings peace, alignment with Scripture, and clarity. Not fear, pressure, or confusion. Release past wounds. Yesterday's pain cannot be the architect of tomorrow's choices. Forgiveness clears the path for blessing. When doubt attacks, speak truth aloud. God is with me, I chose with integrity today. Say it until peace returns. Celebrate small victories. If you overcame a difficult moment with grace, mark it. A sunset walk, quiet gratitude, or a shared prayer anchors your heart to joy. Honor elders respectfully, even in disagreement. Listen without surrendering your discernment. Time reveals fruit. Fruit convinces more than arguments. Seek professional wisdom where needed. Legal, cultural, or practical questions deserve skilled guidance. Wisdom is spiritual strength, not weakness. Keep spiritual disciplines alive: prayer, scripture, reflection. They sharpen your spirit and steady your emotions when life wavers. Answer fear with testimony. Remember what God has already done, and speak it. Faith multiplies when remembered. Don't retaliate against slander. Truth is your defender, character is your shield. Heaven fights for clean hands. Protect solitude. Even in deep love, God must remain your first love. When He is centered, everything else aligns. Make gratitude part of your public story. When people ask, highlight God's goodness before anything else. This turns the story from emotional to sacred. And finally, receive love without turning gratitude into control. Appreciation should not become pressure or possession. Real love stands freely, honors boundaries, and chooses responsibility over impulse. Heaven blesses hearts rooted in truth and humility. Respect will always be the anchor of true love. Treat the devotion you receive not as something to display, but as something to steward with humility. Love grows stronger when handled with tenderness, not pride. If you were the one who carried deeper feelings, let your actions, not performance, confirm your sincerity. Real devotion is proven in steady care, not dramatic gestures. But humility must stay your teacher. When a wise voice offers correction, receive it with grace. Growth is more valuable than winning debates. Heaven honors hearts that stay teachable, even when emotions run high. When miracles begin to unfold around you, anchor them with gratitude that blesses others. Testimony can soften critics far faster than arguments ever could. Do not be surprised when God calls you to serve together. Shared service becomes a spiritual forge that purifies motives and deepens unity. Feed the hungry, comfort the broken, encourage the lonely. Love that serves becomes love aligned to heaven's purpose. And nothing strengthens a bond more than carrying light into dark places. If children or family ask questions, answer with calm transparency. Consistency speaks louder than explanations. Show through your actions what words cannot always express. And if you ever feel the urge to prove your sincerity through dramatic displays, pause. 1,000 small faithful acts build more trust than one grand moment ever could. Keep confession as a rhythm. Speak your faults honestly to each other and to God. Confession clears the air, disarms the enemy, and rebuilds trust faster than silence. If opposition grows, gather prayer partners, and ask Michael to stand guard. Spiritual battles are not fought alone. heaven sends allies when your integrity stays intact. When joy arrives, return the credit to God. Public gratitude becomes a shield against pride. God loves turning humility into peace, and peace into stability. If online voices or social storms become toxic, step back. Protect what's sacred by limiting exposure. Not everything holy belongs in public view. If you need divine reassurance, ask gently. God delights in sending quiet confirmations, signs only your spirit will recognize. Don't demand spectacle, ask for subtle clarity. When loneliness tries to grip you, speak aloud. I am not alone. Heaven always answers a heart that calls with sincerity. If your past still aches, remember restoration is part of the journey. God rebuilds what was shattered, He turns ashes into something beautiful. And if mockery comes, treat it as refinement. Those who laugh now often understand later, when fruit appears. Healing requires courage, therapy, prayer, community, scripture. Holiness hides nothing, it faces brokenness with bravery. Measure patience in seasons, not minutes. Seeds take time, waiting doesn't mean losing, waiting means growing. If you fear losing friends, remember true friends stay where integrity lives. Some will drift, some will return when they witness your peace. If you choose to move forward, step slowly and prayerfully. Do not outrun clarity, build the covenant instead of rushing it. And if you choose to step back, let it be with kindness and clarity. Closing a door gently honors the lesson, and preserves dignity. When courage fails, speak this prayer for strength. God of heaven, steady my heart, guide my steps, if this path is yours confirm it, if not redirect me with peace. Let the words settle into your spirit like steady light. You stayed, you listened, you opened your heart. And because you did, heaven now speaks deeper truths. These instructions are not burdens, they are tools. They guard what God brings near, and protect what your spirit is meant to carry. Michael places his hand upon your life, and says I guard what heaven gives, and cut away what deceives. Walk forward in courage, God whispers what I begin I finish. My child, you've walked this far into the message, because your spirit is stronger than your doubt. This is rare, this is holy, this is the territory where heaven releases deeper secrets. Notice how the air feels heavier and lighter at the same time, that's because angels are near. Michael says those who endure until the end, are the ones heaven can trust with the miracle. And you have endured. Now listen, for God speaks directly to your destiny. You feared that your love would be mocked or misunderstood, but God does not judge as people judge. He does not measure worth by appearances, He measures by truth, sincerity, and integrity. And the truth is this, love rooted in Him carries heaven's longevity, not human limits. Every storm you faced, was testing your resolve, not your worth. Through doubt, resistance, and misunderstanding, you held on to the possibility that heaven was guiding this. And that faith has opened a gate over your life. Michael speaks like fire, the resistance you faced was not a sign to stop, it was proof of the impact your unity will have. Opposition rises when purpose rises. That's why the whispers of fear were so loud, why doubt tried to suffocate your hope. But the enemy fears what heaven is preparing. Blessings birth resistance, purpose attracts pressure. Do not let fear steal what is near. Over the next few days, you will see subtle confirmations, unexpected peace in chaos, a name or thought returning with clarity, the number 7 appearing again and again. These are not coincidences, they are signatures from heaven. And know this, the devotion you received was never random. It wasn't defined by differences, it was defined by courage and sincerity. It wasn't about age, it was about alignment. It wasn't about circumstance, it was about spirit recognizing spirit. Heaven often teaches through living examples, and sincere love becomes a parable of grace. But guard it carefully. Michael warns, the enemy will still try to twist what heaven plants, through jealousy, distraction, pride, or doubt. Stay humble, stay anchored, stay prayerful. Do not let outside voices poison what heaven is growing, do not let impatience rush what is still being formed. Beloved, hear God's whisper. You were not given this love to be harmed, but to be strengthened. But to heal you, that has always been heaven's intention. This connection did not enter your life to confuse you, but to confirm you. It was allowed to rise, because heaven wanted to remind you that miracles rarely appear in forms people expect. You were never behind, you were never cursed, you were never foolish for feeling deeply. You were being shaped, guided, and prepared. This love, tested by storms, will either stand as testimony, or serve as wisdom. Either way, your destiny moves forward. Michael whispers, the choice rests with them. If they remain rooted in purity and truth, heaven will strengthen what is sincere. If they step back in fear, heaven will redirect them without abandoning them. What God writes cannot be lost, only delayed. So breathe, beloved, release every shadow of shame others tried to place on your shoulders. That weight was never yours. Step into honesty, stand in courage, pray in humility, trust that heaven fights battles you cannot see. The one connected to your spirit is closer than you realize, closer in intention, closer in prayer, closer in destiny. Even in doubt, their voice rises for you before God. That prayer surrounds you like a cloak. This is why your heart couldn't simply walk away, their prayer met your purpose, and something divine aligned. And now, my beloved, because you're still here, heaven reveals what was held for last. Your endurance unlocked this part. Most scroll away, you didn't. Your staying sealed your name into this moment. Michael's voice rumbles through the unseen. Tell them the final stretch is near, tell them they stand on the edge of unveiling, tell them the love they carry is not random, it is intentional, purposeful, and heaven recognized. This person was not accidental in your story, they were guided, drawn, placed by divine choreography. Their courage, their sincerity, their unwavering heart, these were signs of assignment, not accident. Do not dismiss what feels unusual. God often wraps His greatest gifts in surprising forms to protect them from critics. He hides strength inside gentleness, purpose inside unlikely vessels, and destiny inside connections others might overlook. Heaven whispers, do not reject what I have sanctified. Do not label as shame what I have called sacred. Your heart trembles now, because truth is entering. It shakes because love is bigger than fear. Michael declares, when they embrace truth, chains fall. When they honor what God plants, curses break. When they walk in alignment, destiny accelerates. Yet be vigilant, the enemy studies what heaven anoints. Doubt will come through voices, opinions, comparison, or fear. Do not bow to it. People's judgments can't cancel God's decree. You've asked silently, how can something so unlikely feel so undeniably guided? Because heaven wanted you to see beyond surface, and into essence. Beyond circumstances, and into spirit. Souls recognize what they were crafted to meet. Do you feel that gentle pull inside, that whisper that says, this is not random, this is alignment? That is heaven's confirmation. Their devotion was never ordinary, it wasn't defined by comparison or difference, it was defined by courage, sincerity, and spiritual recognition. Their love mirrored the way heaven approaches you, steady, patient, self-giving, willing to cross obstacles to reach your heart. It was meant to teach you what divine love feels like. But guard this carefully. Michael warns, the enemy will still attempt distortion, through jealousy, distraction, pride, or insecurity. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay prayerful. Do not let external voices poison internal truth, do not let impatience crack what is still growing. Beloved, God whispers again. You weren't given this love to break you, but to strengthen and heal you. This union carries legacy, not just emotion. It has the potential to heal patterns, restore identity, and empower generations. This is why attacks felt so intense, miracles attract pressure, purpose attracts resistance. But heaven did not bring you this far, to abandon you now. Breathe again, beloved, release every remaining weight. You were never meant to carry shame for something heaven planted in purity. Stand tall in what was given to you, guard it with prayer, strengthen it with truth, test it with time. If it endures, rejoice, you have touched something divine. And heaven rejoices, because you stayed. You listened, you opened your heart to truth others would dare not face. You proved yourself ready to carry what is holy. Michael lowers his sword, his wings sheltering you with protection and promise. God whispers one more time. Do not fear, you were chosen for this moment. And I will remain with you through every step. And now, do not look away. You've reached the threshold, heaven will not leave you without the final key. Michael says, the unveiling begins now. Those who remained will witness the shift. Prepare your spirit. A confirmation is coming, it will not roar like thunder, it will whisper like destiny. A perfectly timed message, a door opening effortlessly, a voice from the past returning, a moment so aligned, you will feel heaven breathe through it. These confirmations will line up like stars, small, simple, perfectly timed. And when they form a pattern, only a faithful heart will recognize what heaven is revealing. When the proof arrives, do not be startled. This is heaven's handwriting, subtle yet unmistakable. The devotion connected to you will also be tested. Heaven allows testing, not to shame, but to reveal truth. A heart may be asked to choose between hidden comfort, or transparent integrity. Transparency attracts blessing, secrecy exposes misalignment. Michael declares, courage chooses truth, courage attracts heaven. Prepare now for restoration. Where resentment once lived, peace will quietly move in. Where doubt dug trenches, faith will plant gardens. Restoration does not erase the past, it releases its grip. Let yourself heal, one small mercy at a time, until mercy becomes your default posture. Watch the little gestures that reveal greatness. A kind word in the exact moment you needed it, a door opening without effort, a provision arriving when pressure was highest. These aren't coincidences, they are heaven's soft reminders. You are seen, keep a journal, gratitude builds clarity, and clarity silences every inner critic. Family dynamics may shift in unexpected ways. Some people who resisted may soften, as they witness your peace. Others may never understand, and that's okay. God replaces missing voices with companions who honor your growth. Michael whispers, God sets a table for those he redeems. Stay seated, eat the bread of peace. When judgment tries to intimidate you, remember who holds your name. God does, your identity is written in his book, not in the opinions of others. Move with quiet dignity, let actions speak louder than defensive words. A test about secrecy will appear. Someone might tempt you toward hidden paths, or whispered arrangements. Refuse the shadow, transparency strengthens courage. When you choose light, heaven draws closer to bless your steps. When confirmation arrives, celebrate with holy humility. Invite those who lift you higher, not those who diminish your spirit. A sacred celebration carries more grace than a secret one. Let your testimony heal those who once doubted. Never weaponize love. If you ever feel tempted to use affection as leverage, step back and breathe. Love misused becomes injury, love offered freely becomes sanctuary. Michael warns, guard your heart, do not turn it into a blade. Your calling will shift as destiny unfolds. Doors once locked will open into new fields, purpose you carried quietly will begin to gain visibility. Recognition may come through unexpected work, or new relationships. Receive it with steady hands, watch for symbolic numbers that guide the path ahead. 7 may signal completion, 3 may mark confirmation. Repeating sequences aren't random, they're heavenly breadcrumbs. When you see them, whisper thanks, and keep moving. Handle practical obstacles with wisdom, not pride. Legal questions, social challenges, emotional complexities, meet them with counsel. Skilled guidance isn't weakness, it's spiritual strategy. Humility will become your armor. When blessings increase, or attention rises, anchor yourself in humility. A low heart stands taller than pride ever could. Prepare for a season of unusual provision. Heaven may send abundance through unexpected hands, receive with gratitude, and steward with discernment. Generosity multiplies when handled wisely. Guard intimacy fiercely. Do not trade sacred moments for public applause, protect your connection with God, and with each other. Depth thrives in honesty, not performance. Expect reconciliation where hearts are soft. And closure where hearts refuse it. Not every bond is meant to return. Pray for discernment to know the difference. The next chapter demands courage. Not everyone will applaud your choices, but destiny is shaped by God's approval, not human applause. Trust that provision will follow obedience. Fear will visit at times. This is normal. When it comes, declare, God, I choose you over fear, I choose purpose over comfort. Repeat it until your heartbeat steadies. Your testimony will bless others. Your story is more than romance, it is healing, restoration, and divine alignment. You become a lighthouse when your storms transform into stories. Stay disciplined in prayer together. Pray for unity, discernment, patience, and protection. Prayer is the spiritual thread that weaves two callings into one tapestry. Expect a spiritual shift in your home. The atmosphere will lighten, peace will settle. Invite worship, bless the walls, protect the atmosphere like a garden. Practice forgiveness quickly. Small wounds forgiven immediately prevent bitterness from taking root. Quick forgiveness keeps the soil fertile for miracles. Celebrate milestones with meaning, not spectacle. A shared meal, a quiet prayer, a handwritten note of gratitude. Holy moments don't need noise, they need sincerity. Share your story slowly and wisely. Let your reveal come from a place of blessing, not performance. The world needs testimony, not theatrics. Hold to truth when pressure tries to bend you. Easier compromises may appear, but destiny requires strength. Purity of heart becomes your compass, honor divine timing. If God says wait, grow in the waiting. If He opens the door, walk through with lifted hands. Watch for helpers heaven sends. Some will appear for a season, others for a lifetime. Test each one with prayer, teach your children if you have them, the value of honor, peace, and prayer. Their witness will carry strength into generations you'll never meet. Remember, love is both a gift and a stewardship. It must be tended, nurtured, and guarded. Work with wonder, and wonder with wisdom. When doubt rises, return to this moment. The pull you felt was not emotional, it was spiritual alignment calling you forward. And now the final seal of this continuation. If you walk with integrity, prayer, patience, and grounded counsel, God will shift your season. What once tore will now build, what once hid will now become sanctuary, what once shamed will now be crowned with dignity. Michael's voice settles over your spirit. You who stayed, I guard. You who chose truth, I stand with. The enemy may shout, but I am the whisper that steadies. God's quiet voice follows. Beloved, this season will mark you. Choose well, choose truth, choose love that honors me. I walk beside you into what comes next.